Hey guys, welcome to the Property Panel Podcast. You got myself, Jalen Hardcastle, here with co-host Josh Story, and today we're going to be bringing you episode 21 in Title Talk. You know, title companies are very useful in real estate transactions, but it even goes further than that. We want to dive into that for you. But before we dive into today's episode, Josh, what do you think our sponsors?
Yeah, speaking of title companies, our title sponsors for this episode is Collier Title Company. If you need deed prep, title work, closings, and more, they're located in Brandenburg, E-Town, and Louisville. You can call them at 270-763-6589. And then I want to thank our weekly sponsor for this episode, We Buy Houses. You can give us a call at 270-945-5416, 270-945-7189. We can pay cash and we can close in as little as 2 weeks. Just give us a call and we can give you a quote on your house and, maybe get it sold for you.
Yep, and we'll actually offer you a cash price, close in 2 weeks, like you said, or we'll even give you a list option. You know, obviously we have to have those fees added onto that list option, but we want to show you that there's multiple ways to get your home sold quickly, efficiently, and whatever you prefer, we can get the job done.
Pretty much any condition home.
Yep.
We're looking for pretty much anything. So, just give us a call or even call our office at 270-422-1331.
Yes, sir. And if you or anyone you know would like to be a weekly, monthly, or yearly sponsor, just give us a call at one of the numbers Josh had just mentioned. And it's 100 weekly, 300 monthly, and 3,000 yearly. And you're advertised on our intros, outros, as well as intermissions, as well as most of our social media platforms. And we're cumulatively reaching about 2,000 to 3,000 views per week. And we're actually starting to be able to go live on different platforms, which allows us to be monetized. So we'll hopefully be able to continue to bring you a better podcast week in and week out.
Yeah, we're currently on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're not on Instagram.
We're not on Instagram, but
we need to be on Instagram.
We actually should, yeah.
But we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and TikTok. So if you just search Property Panel Podcast, we should pop up, and we definitely appreciate likes and follows. Just a good way to support. It's a free way to support, and continues to help us grow.
Yeah, it goes a long way. And today, what we were going to do, Ethan's actually out of the studio today because he's working on his house, getting a few finishing touches in as he moves in next week at the beginning of June. So as much as we love to have him on, we're excited to show you guys what he's done with his home, start to finish. And now that it's move-in ready, it's about time to have him on the show to get to talk about that. So we're pretty excited to see what he's done with the place.
Yeah, he's been putting in a lot of work, and I know that he's excited to finally get to that finish line for it. And I'm assuming he's going to be moving in quick.
Yeah. He's already
shortly.
got some furniture and stuff, obviously, in the finished parts of the house because he is nearing that end. So like I said, you guys will see it. He's a professional photographer since he's a realtor, so he's going to take some good pictures. We'll show you some videos and stuff like that. Some before and afters. Obviously, y'all got a sneak peek into his home inspection a few months ago. So like I said, yeah, we're proud of him, and we're excited. Hopefully next week or the week after, we'll be showing you guys what he's transformed that place into.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to dive into today's topic. We're going to be talking.
Sorry, I want to talk about the Masters.
Oh, okay.
Because that just happened. Like I said, we talked a little bit about it. It was just practice last week when we was going live. So that was a pretty cool turn of events. I know that everyone's seen Scotty get in that dilemma, and then he comes out and shoots a birdie on the first hole. You know, he held his composure well despite the adversity that was thrown at him. So that's pretty impressive to see him come out and do well. But I mean, I guess that's what you expect out of a number one player. They got to be not only a great golfer but mentally strong to overcome all the obstacles that might be thrown at them.
Yeah, are they wrapping up at Valhalla or?
Yeah, I think they're already finished if I'm not mistaken. It was Xander Souffle, or however you say that.
Yeah, he ended up winning.
And he actually shot, I think, the tournament best of a 62, which is the fourth or fifth time it's ever been done in PGA history. And actually the last of the 3 or 4 times has been in the last 2 years that we've actually seen those 62 rounds. So golf is progressing. And the only reason we tell you that is because it's pretty interesting for us, all of us here in the studio. We like to get out and golf. And me and Josh, actually, we golfed a couple times over the weekend just in spirit of the tournament. So we couldn't be there, but we was at least on the golf course and watching the live scoring and stuff on our phone.
I would love to golf at Valhalla, but I've heard that it's pretty expensive to get in the door.
If someone wants to sponsor us to go to play Valhalla, that'd be appreciated. But I doubt that'll happen. But again, like I said, the Masters just happened, and actually I was in my first ever scramble for the Megan's Mission here that we hold locally for a local person who had passed away due to leukemia. Their family are very nice people. They hold some scholarships and stuff for the high schoolers and stuff that are graduating through Megan's Mission. And it's pretty impressive. They put on a great golf scramble. I think this was the third or fourth year. And you obviously pay for your fee. You get 4 people to a team, and then you can buy 2 mullies per person. So that was pretty cool. And we ended up coming in at 3rd place.
That's awesome.
So that was more than I was expecting. I think we was expecting to shoot like a neg 4 to start the round. And then when we had that, like on the 7th hole, he's like, "Oh, let's go for 10," which we came up just shy of that. But it was a great time. We had a great time, and I'm looking forward to doing some more tournaments for sure.
Yeah, another turn of events. In about 2 weeks, I'll be getting married. Yeah, on June 8th. So we're having it down at the family farm, and I'm really excited.
That's awesome. Congratulations to you and Melina.
Thank you. Lots of friends and family. I'm looking forward to everybody being there, and it's going to be a fun time, and I can't wait.
Yeah, this is pretty impressive. So, we've had Joe P on the show, which is his brother-in-law, and he's part of that farm down there as well. And him and Josh have putting in tremendous work on the weekends and stuff whenever they're off work. They're actually building their own dance floor and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we made our own venue.
So. It's pretty sweet, and the farm is just surreal. Like, I've been out there a few times for us to fish, and, it's a beautiful place, and I can't wait to see and witness, you two come together as one.
I'll be out there tomorrow morning, bush hogging and weed eating, so getting it all prepped. But
work all week long just to work on the weekends too. But it's going to be so rewarding when that day comes. I'm excited to spend that with you, and that is exciting. So if you do you want to put a little shout out to your registry if anyone would like to?
Yeah, just go to twoheartsonestory.us, which is our website.
I like it.
I make websites, so I was like, why not go ahead and make a website?
Yeah.
But if you go there, you can find a registry if you want. We
not
appreciate
obligated,
it. Definitely not obligated, but it is there. And then Jay, you picked up something this week.
Yeah, I picked up me a new bike. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, I grew up racing motocross, but here lately, I've just been getting the itch to ride something with the kids and stuff. I ain't been able to get out on the track as much as I'd like, so had me a little bike to ride to and from work and just get some wind in my hair. It's been a nice stress reliever. I've only had it for a couple days, but I'm pretty excited to get out there and ride it a little more. So yeah, and I don't recommend getting one. I keep on telling people not to, and then of course I'm a hypocrite and went and got it myself. I've had a lot of friends pass away on them, so I definitely don't recommend them. But be
if you
safe.
Get one, be very safe.
Be safe, and it's never
wear a helmet.
A lot of times, not going to be your fault if you do get in a wreck. So a lot of people are like, "I'll be safe." Yeah, it's usually not your fault. So seriously, you got to look, not only for yourself, but for the other people driving as well, because they're not going to be paying attention for bikers like they would a car.
Right.
So,
and
yeah.
I've heard, I'm not a bike rider, but I've heard the safety gear is really important, like the helmet.
Oh yeah, especially riding on the road and stuff. Yeah. I mean, the helmet, especially, that's the most important thing because that's what gets us going. But yeah, obviously, if you don't want road rash up and down your body, you definitely should get some leathers or something. At least wear long pants and long shirt. Don't take after me. But I guess we should get in, kind of like you said, to today's topic. Before we get into the title company, I think we should kind of go over a little market update. We're about halfway through the year now, and the market's still kicking. A lot of people think that it'd be falling off by now, but really we've seen the exact opposite. And despite the interest rates rising and the prices rising, people are still buying. And you want to get in while the getting's good, because the interest rate will come back down a little bit.
I feel like we still have a higher demand than we have a supply. I feel like we have kind of a lower supply market, but I think it's starting to pick up on both sides. Definitely the demand is still there though, because a lot of these units are moving quick still. So
if they're priced accordingly, I know a lot of people are still shooting for the moon, but listen to the professional. I mean, they're not just pulling these numbers out of their butt. Right. That we're doing a CMA and we're running these numbers according to comparable homes sold within that area. So when I give you a number, it's because I want the home sold too. It's not because I want to make more or less money. I'm not worried about the money for me. I'm worried about getting that house sold, because I'm more worried about seeing my credentials, seeing the homes I sold, the units I've moved, rather than the money I've made, because that money's going to follow you if you're just following that dream. And it is a dream of mine. I enjoy real estate, and I feel like that's why I've been successful, is because it's something I enjoy every day. I wake up, and I mean, even this morning I sent y'all a text. Y'all was like, what the heck was that? At 4:30 or so in the morning, I was just like, I'm thinking of work. I wake up thinking of it, go to sleep thinking of it. And what better thing to do than live what you love?
Yeah, putting clients first, that's really the first step, in my opinion, rather than the price. So when we give you a CMA, we're not, like you said, we're not coming up with those numbers. They're coming from data that we find on the MLS, and basically to give you the best price possible for it to sell. So keep that in mind. We also do these CMAs for free. So if you just want to know what your house might be worth in this market, just give us a call, and we can break that down for you and show you, what your house could potentially sell for.
Yeah, and I think you'd be surprised, and maybe we can talk about, if you do want to list a little higher, dropping it within the next week or two. But I'm a very strong believer on your main viewers that are interested in that property are going to come in the first week. So if you got it listed accordingly, it's going to get in a multiple offer situation, like Josh said, and drive that price up coincidentally. So, just go ahead and trust in your professional. I think that's the best thing you can do, because we're going to take care of you, especially if you call me or Josh. And if you can't decide between the two, because we are so awesome, we'll tag team it. We don't care.
Yeah, you're getting 2-for-1 special.
Yeah.
I think, that's a good deal. When you have two agents working on the same transaction, it can speed things up quite a bit. But I guess we'll dive into some of this title talk. Jay, how do you want to kick it off?
Basically, just the title company. So, like you said in the intro, for 21
what
weeks
they're
now,
good
let them know what all they do. Obviously, they do title work and title services, closings for us, but they go as far as deed prep, and what are some other things that they offer?
One of the bigger things that I recommend all my clients is title insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cheap in comparison what you could save if it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
And that really protects you, from my understanding, is if there is some long lost heirs to a property, and you don't know about it, obviously, and they come to kind of claim, their right to the property, you're insured up to the value of what you purchased at, from my understanding, or something, close to that.
Yeah, and a lot of times them title companies, they'll just do a standard 30-year check, but, that title insurance will ensure if they have any errors or omissions that you're fully covered. And basically, like you said, those heirs can't come back to reclaim that property after you've already done the work to fix it up and what have you, So I think it's very important to use a title company, and to use a good one. I mean, there's quite a few out there. But just like some agents that are half-assing it part-time, that's the same with some title companies. So we really obviously like Collier Title Company. There's a few other in our area that we really love as well that we use, week in and week out. So it's not like we're just biased to one company. We do have a few for you to choose from if that one in particular is not the one for you. So we always recommend them, and you have to deal with them, especially with us. So that's why we talk big on our relationships that we make in this community. So that's pretty much one of them.
Yeah, they're really a good in-between, a connector for getting a deal facilitated. So they're checking the deed for you. They're checking the title for you. They're making sure that money's getting transferred properly. And, I think it's really important to use. I think you almost have to. The only other option would be probably a lawyer. But they definitely keep the deal cohesive and kind of put it all together at the end. That way everyone gets their money. Everybody, is happy at the end of the day. And like he said, there's plenty of title companies to choose from, and there's some new ones popping up. So, shop around when you're trying to look for a title company, or just ask one of your realtors who they suggest. And most of them are good people. So.
Yep. And to your point, making sure everyone gets their money, that's a big thing. They're going to handle the funds. So, the buyer that's bringing the loan and the proceeds that are going to the seller, they're going to handle all that. So you don't have to worry about even the hair on your head. You just show up, sign some papers, and you pay and get paid. That's what a title company's for. And they will ensure that, some people will have liens on their property, whether it's mechanics liens or what have you, or even second mortgages on their house because they pulled some equity out. So they're going to make sure that home's totally free and clear for that next buyer, obviously to secure that mortgage and do the same thing down the road.
Yeah, I just had a deal pop up where some liens were found, but, luckily they can be paid off by the proceeds of the closing, so it really wasn't anything too major. But that's definitely important to keep in mind on, is when you're purchasing, if there are liens, which, our contracts kind of protect the buyers from that. But, the title company, they'll definitely check all that and make sure it's good to go.
Yep. And obviously we were supposed to have Quinn on. We've been he's the owner of Collier Title. We've been in cahoots with him, but he's busy and we're busy. So like I said, we do appreciate him. He does a lot of work for us, even on our personal homes. That's who I'm going to use. So we appreciate it. And then obviously I really like Bluegrass Land Title. Kelly Childress up there. She was that executive, and she moved over to here. And we love Kelly. Obviously I met her through Chad, and that's another man. I know that y'all probably been kind of wondering what's going on. Where's Chad? But he like we said, started a new job position at a different bank, and he's starting to do loans again. So give him a call. His company's still working out the banner for us, so over the next week or two, hopefully we can have that. I think he's going down to meet with the head honchos to get that discussed within the next week. So hopefully you can see him, and in the meantime, go ahead and send him your business because he is still working despite what you might hear. We love Chad, and we appreciate him. Josh, you got anything else to throw at us?
Yeah, what all goes into a deed, or what are some of the parts of a deed? Why is that important?
So basically, your deed's going to have, who the property is being sold from and sold to, their property address, which is most times going to be, that property address that they're moving to. And then it's going to have the meets and bounds of the property description, basically give you a pretty good idea of the property lines and stuff like that. And a lot of them might be a little older. That's why they do want you to get up-to-date surveys, because some of them might not be still recorded. And, they used to go off the meets and bounds, which is like, hey, this rock over here to this tree line. And, rocks and trees move over time after dirt work and constructions and what have you. So, definitely I think deeds are great because it shows that you have ownership of the property, but you do want to make sure that they are correctly, typed up.
And they can also have restrictions in them too. Mm-hmm. So that's important to look at. I don't know. I haven't ran into any specific restrictions. Do you know of any examples of some restrictions that could be?
Well, so like Doe Valley, it's kind of a tough one. So Doe Valley in your actual deed with the home, it's not going to show the restrictions. It might say see Doe Valley bylaws or something like that. So that one kind of gets confused because people are like, hey, it's my property. I get to do what you want, but you're in a gated community. And they do have at the front office the list of their restrictions. And even if you're cutting trees, they have to be, so small, or you have to get permission to cut these trees down. You have to get permission to build your home here, which obviously planning and zoning is kind of similar, but even in Doe Valley, it is more strenuous. They got more restrictions because it is a private community that you have to pay HOA fees for. So that's something you want to look out for also when you're buying a home, is if it is an HOA subdivision or gated community, and how much is it per month, per year? What are they offering, for what you're paying as well?
I think I sold one up in Louisville, and in the deed it said no pets, but I think it was like a HOA, like the subdivision, no pets in any of the homes. So
yeah, that's kind of, I luckily haven't ran into too much like that, but I have heard stories like that. So you will run into that, but that's why you do want a good title company, a good realtor to, point those things out for you. And that's why you do want to read your deed. A lot of people just look over the documents they're signing, but, these
Never
documents are important.
Yeah. Any horror stories at closing?
I have quite a few.
Any people back out of the last second?
I've actually had someone not sign at closing, and we just let him go, I can't even recall what it was because I don't think it was that important. But, we ended up getting the house sold pretty quickly after that, and to buyers that were extremely happy with it. But I've had some closings that, where the funds weren't correctly dispersed, or, where especially I think the most tricky situations come on the dry closing. So whenever we're delayed money or delayed disbursement, I think that can be kind of tricky because especially with possession, we've signed documents, but money hasn't been dispersed. And obviously we're going to have those contracts in place to state, whether they get early possession, post possession, what have you. But, at the end of the day, the most seamless transaction and the way to, hinder any question is to just go ahead and have a simultaneous closing, hand the keys over as soon as you sign and get paid.
I had one that was actually here in the office between a couple that was getting divorced, and they just sat at the opposite sides of the table and didn't say a word to each other.
We've had those too. We it don't matter the situation, like you said. Josh and me are here. We'll get you through it. If it seems like it's a daunting task, it's not. We'll take all that pressure off of you, and we'll give you the best service we can.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, if you just give us a call, if at any point you're looking to buy or sell, we're there to help pretty much 24/7. We're pretty quick with responses. Whether you need to see a house or if you want a CMA done on your house, these are all free to start off with. And just give us a call or call the office and ask for us. And we'll be there to help you guys.
Yep. And obviously, like we said, we didn't have Quinn come on, so we are going to keep it short and sweet. This was really supposed to be a title talk episode with a little question and answer from him. We will have him on later, but we thought that this title company issue needed to be brought up because it's kind of relevant in today's times. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just have an attorney drafter. I'll have this. Well, these title companies have the experience, and your attorney can do it, yes, but I think you want someone that has more experience in that field than not. You wouldn't just go and get, a realtor first day on the job. Not saying that that's the way for the attorney, but, and you also wouldn't get me maybe to, do certain things like a construction on your house. Yeah, I can deal with you, get you with contractors and stuff set up, but at the end of the day, I want the person that knows what they're doing it.
Right, you're not putting the roof on.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. No, might have tried a few times, but
Yeah.
but I guess want to close it out for us?
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank our title sponsors for this episode. Big shout out to Collier Title Company. If you need deed prep, title work, closings, and more, they're located in Brandenburg, E-Town, and Louisville. You can call them at 270-763-6589. And then for this week's sponsor, I'd like to thank We Buy Houses. You can call us at 270-945-5416 or 270-945-7189. And we're paying cash. It can close in as little as 2 weeks. We're buying any condition.